Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Minecraft Emporium. Today we're looking at a new design for a useless machine in Minecraft. As you can see, if I was to pop down a lever right here, piston comes out of the wall, breaks it, and it closes up nice and quickly. Fully resettable, fully automatic, the smallest footprint that you can possibly make a useless machine, although if it is the actual smallest, I'm not entirely sure. Alrighty, nice and simple, nice and quick, let's hop into how the useless machine works, as well as the tutorial. Now quickly before we get on to the tutorial, I would like to explain the basic premise behind how this useless machine specifically works. And the basic idea, as I say, is that we have a double piston extender which fires subsequent to when that repeater powers that block and powers the piston, turning off the torch, such that when this block drops down from that piston, we can have a double piston extender to fire and then have the piston break the lever. It's fairly simple, and we basically have a snaking torch tower. Torch there, powers torch up here, powers the double piston extender up here. Then we have a sticky piston moving down an observer block onto this chain of observers, providing a bit of delay to quite quickly power the piston in this position so as to break the lever. If you're unfamiliar with how this specific torch piston mechanic works, I can easily demonstrate it for you, and that on Bedrock Edition, a piston, when powered, and has a torch on the side, can actually turn off that torch. For example, if I was to power the piston in this way, as you can see, it turns off the torch, similar to how a torch, when in this position, also turns off from the lever. So that's the basic premise, and let's, once more, move on to the block-by-block tutorial for this build. Oh, and just one more thing before starting, the materials list for this build is actually quite simple. 15 solid blocks, it can be any solid block in the game, 8 observers, 4 sticky pistons, 3 regular pistons, 3 redstone torches, 3 redstone dust, 2 obsidian, 2 redstone repeaters, and 1 dropper. It's a fairly small build, it's a fairly small materials list. Other than that, let's continue. So, tutorial time. To start, we're going to build up the basic foundations of what the build is going to look like from the outside. So we're going to start with 2 blocks there, as well as a height of 3 blocks such as this, with an obsidian block on top of that, and then a roof to cover up the obsidian just like so. This could be the side of your house, or really anything like that. Moving down to the bottom, underneath the block we're going to place the lever on, we're going to build a small L shape such as this. We're going to place the lever in this position right here, if you're wondering. Then we're going to add a repeater on 4 ticks, moving into a block with a piston facing this way like that, a redstone torch there, oh, and a sticky piston. Here, let me get that real quick, facing up into this block right here, building up a little bit just like that. Moving on from there, we are going to add a torch there and move on to constructing the double piston extender, and that is made with an observer in the hotbar with 2 sticky pistons in this position. Sorry about that. In these positions here. Let me build a little bit of structural framework. 1 sticky piston. Oh man, placing this is so difficult. We place a sticky piston right there, as well as a sticky piston right here. Also, in front of this piston here, we are going to need a regular non-sticky piston in order to break the lever. So, moving once more, we're going to need some solid blocks on top of these pistons right here. Step back so you can see what we have so far. An observer block in the middle, looking into this second piston here, as well as a few redstone repeaters moving in this direction such as that, with some redstone dust. I believe I forgot to get that in this location here and this location here. Building up from there, we are going to want to place a piece of obsidian right there to prevent that piston from breaking any redstone. And we are going to add a regular piston right here, and this is going to act as that torch quasi-connectivity piston that we discussed earlier. Gosh, why is this so hard to place? Something just like that. Then we're going to move up and place a redstone torch here, which should turn off, and then a redstone dust here. Moving down, we are going to want a sticky piston right here onto that block there with an observer on its face, moving into a 1 block gap with a solid block underneath, just like so. Also, we are going to want to add a dropper. Hopefully I'm not moving too quickly for you guys, and put a dropper here with an observer underneath it, just like so. Let me go underneath it. Nope, not far enough. And an observer underneath it. After that, we are going to want to place observers in all of these positions here. Whoops, sorry about that. And place an observer moving upwards. Gosh, this is so hard to place. Something a bit like that. Next, we're going to test the machine just to see how we're rolling so far, just like that. Piston drops down, piston is broken, and just like that, your useless machine is completely finished. Well, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, drop a comment, maybe even a subscription. I can tell you will truly make my day. Other than that, stay safe, have a wonderful evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Peace out.